We've always had room in our hearts for film and TV, not just on Netflix, but tape and disc in theaters. Also, God forbid that they take it all away and leave us nothing to broadcast to loyal listeners. We'll binge watch every single movie, so you don't have to. What else are we here for? Coming to you every week. Listen to us while you're busy. Luckily, we forgot to grow up. Hey everybody, it's Craig.
Hey, it's Scott.
Hey, it's Andrew.
Welcome to episode number 88 of the Forgot to Grow Up podcast. On this week's episode, we're talking Men in Black, and then we're going to talk about what we watched this week. So
in that order.
Yeah, in that order. Men in Black.
Yeah, Craig's having a little trouble remembering his intro because he just actually got, what's it called from Men in Black?
Neuralized?
Thank you. I forgot. I thought it was something with an E for a second.
And that is the extent of the Men in Black references I'm aware of, because I've never seen the movies.
You haven't seen any of the three?
Not one.
Well, that makes
how
all my
in the
questions
unholy
completely
fuck
invoid.
have you gone this far and not seen any of them?
Are you surprised?
Yes.
Yes and no, actually, because this one doesn't fall into this one falls into a weird category. Because I'm like, okay, it's not one that I could imagine.
I feel
your
like
parents didn't
accidentally
want to show
happening
you,
onto a
but
Men in Black movie on television or something.
It was on TV
The
all the
thing
time.
is, I didn't watch a lot of cable television. For
Fair.
most of my life, we didn't have it. And then we had it for a small amount of time, and I didn't watch that kind of stuff. And then we got rid of it, and I haven't had it since.
Okay, and
I don't know. I feel like telling me you haven't seen
I'm just surprised you
Men in Black movie
there's
is
they all come out in our lifetime.
Yep.
like
Haven't seen them.
It feels like saying that is the same as if someone looked me in the eye and said, "I've never heard If I Had $1 Million" by BNL.
Who?
Don't make me say it. I'm trying to censor this for the fucking podcast, bro. By the Bare Naked Ladies. We need a shorthand for the Bare Naked Ladies. And then I wouldn't even know how to react. If you're just like, I've never heard that song. I'd be fucking drown yourself in a toilet, dude. Because you have to have heard that song. How have you not seen these?
Yeah, this is one of those ones that I'm like, yeah, no, I get superhero ones or certain ones that are like super crazy violent that your parents wouldn't have shown you when we were growing up. But this one's a very like family friendly. It's just it's a goofy buddy cop one where aliens are the bad guys.
It's the beginning of Will Smith trying to break into like the serious kind of action role. Like that middle step of where he's like, yeah, I'm still the Fresh Prince, but also
I can run real fast.
I can run real fast.
That's why he gets recruited in the first one.
Yeah. Well, it's because he sees that crazy shit.
Impressive.
After he like pushes a guy down, what does he say? It's like NYPD stands for knock your punk ass down or something like that. Like after he like just fucking body checks the dude.
Something like that, yeah. Yeah, this surprises me. This is interesting. So, I just have so many questions about this, Craig, because I'm trying to pin down how you. So it just never appealed to you, or you never had an opportunity to see it?
Little from column A, little from column B.
Okay, so you never seeked it out, so that's understandable.
Yeah, most of them. Yeah, I just haven't seeked it out at all, and it has not stumbled into my lap.
That's fair, because like I know like the third one came out I think around when we were in high school, I want to say. So that's why I was like I kind of assumed you would have seen them, because I imagine I probably went with Andrew or one of the group. You know what I mean?
Feel like Sam was there for some reason.
It's possible. That's why I said one other group, because there's so many interchanges that we went to the movies with. Because we went to the movies all the time. That was back when $4 Tuesdays existed. I'll never stop talking about that because I'm so sad that I pay $15 for the movies now.
It was definitely like a 12B movie because it was 2012. I'm fairly confident Pregnant Sam was there. Because, like, I vaguely remember watching this kind of feeling like, hopefully it doesn't pop. Hopefully the water doesn't break.
Is this the water break movie?
Okay, let me just find out when this movie came out in theaters.
It was one of them.
It was May. Yeah, movie? It totally was. No, but it was one of those, like, please don't. Because it came out May 25th, 2012.
Yeah, so that would have been...
Is that 2012? That's not when... when Zach was born, was it? Or is he 20? No,
No, he's
he's 2012, is he not?
2012. Yeah.
Yeah.
He is.
Yeah, okay. So this was definitely the Please Don't Water Break movie.
When did it come out in 2012?
May 25th.
Then that makes a ton of sense because that's like
Yes.
that is
So it was
almost
totally
exactly
Sam.
7 days.
Yeah. There we go. Memories.
Yeah.
All
so that was the
Alone
third one though.
with Men in Black.
Yeah,
So I guess I
wasn't
kind
there.
of assumed. Yeah, fair enough. That's fair.
I
just
was,
kind of assumed-
apparently.
I might have been. I don't know. I'm not sure if I was at the water scare one or not.
It must have been
definitely saw
you. Like, I wouldn't
Although
have gone in to just to see Men in Black alone with Sam.
I'm not disagreeing with you. I'm just saying.
As much as I love Sam, I feel like her and I alone at a movie would just, it would be
Never
awkward.
happened.
It'd be super awkward.
I agree. It was probably me, and yeah, I just don't remember is what I was saying. I can't remember, but. Like I said, we went to the movies so many times.
Yeah,
in
we
high
almost got in a
school.
fight that one time at Brock University. That was pretty sweet. That's a story for a different time.
Different
Yeah,
podcast.
Different podcast. This is the we almost didn't get arrested because it's true. But Men in Black, the first one, like I remember watching this as a youngster,
Yeah.
Tyke, and being scared shitless of Vincent D'Onofrio's like cockroach monster,
Yeah, I think
and
that's
not
where
even
my,
like that, just like the way he
distaste
was as
for-
like in human
yeah.
form. Like that was terrifying. Though
So weird. Like, give me that sugar water. Yeah. Like, no, I agree. They're super terrifying. That's when my like fear of insects I think started because that like all the like the cockroaches crawling out of him as he would reach for stuff just like literally still to this day gives me freaking goosebumps seeing it. 'Cause I'm
Oh,
just
yeah.
Like, oh, like how just even
well, just
see,
this like weird like twist.
yeah. Oh.
Give me some milk. Ooh, ooh, ooh.
Yeah.
No, thank
I
you.
agree. And then like when he pulls back his face. to try
Yeah, and like
smile.
snaps it back into.
Yeah. I never knew that was Vincent D'Onofrio till like 2 years ago.
Really,
I
I didn't
never
know
knew.
it when I was 5.
Yeah, no, I didn't
but-
know who that was then, but yeah, no, it took
I knew
me
it
till like
through my teenage years.
it was like when he was gearing up to do the his second run through Daredevil, like the
Okay.
third season. Like when they were like filming that, I was seeing some stuff online about him, and that's when I learned it. I'm like, wait, that's cool. That's so awesome. That's a little extra layer to this movie that I like because it's like, he's a great actor.
See, I really liked Men in Black, especially watching it again as a teenager, where you've developed some stuff and you understand who is who and plot holes and points, and you're like, oh yeah, okay, I can follow a story now. I'm not just
Yeah.
like, wow,
Wow, aliens shooting
Oh.
blue stuff.
that pug is annoying as shit.
Always.
Always. But like Men in Black was a movie that they could have capped off and never made a sequel.
Mm-hmm.
Because it was fairly self-contained. You know, it sets up like a potential future, but also didn't have to. It could have been like
it wasn't a cliffhanger or anything. Yeah, it was just open-ended.
It could have been K just taking or J taking over for K.
Yeah.
Or right? Yeah, that's how it is.
Yeah,
I was
you
like-
got it right.
I was like, okay, J comes before K in the alphabet, but I'm pretty sure J was Will
Smith's
Smith.
character. Yeah, he's Jay.
Yeah. Like it could have just been set up like K's trying to retire, so that's why he brings J in.
Yeah.
But it also could have been like, well, I've done enough. I can't do this anymore. Tap out. So like, but it also set up that sequel fairly well, I thought.
Yeah, no, I don't
Like
mind
bringing
the
him out
second
of
one.
retirement, where it's
Yeah.
he's working with aliens and has no idea. Like,
I really love that, like, and like that they're building the world. Like, some people thought that they went a little overboard, but I don't mind the second one. It's not as the first one. I think is a little bit more well contained and a little bit better. Like, definitely
Yeah.
a better story and overall movie.
less stretch, more
Exactly. Yeah,
okay.
the second one's definitely a little more of a stretch and a little bit more of the like, oh, you liked this alien stuff? We're gonna give you more of it. And for me, I like that stuff. But I get where
absolutely.
some people might be hesitant, be like, oh, they gave us too much. It's like, well, no, I don't believe in that. Give me more. But
If you're
you
gonna
know,
be over the top,
yeah,
fucking blow the top off.
exactly.
Don't be
I-
like, we just want to sit on the top. No,
don't
fucking
half-ass
go
it.
nuts. I think I preferred the plot of the second one.
It's a little more interesting because it's more of a mystery.
It might have been because there were some beautiful women associated with it, and I'll be completely honest.
We were at that age where that would have been very
Yeah.
impressionable upon us. So
Yeah. 2002. I was
Yeah.
roughly, we were roughly around 10 years old.
Yeah.
I definitely watched it again like 13, 14, where
Yeah.
hormones were a pumping. There was so many beautiful women just roaming around this world. Rosario Dawson was beautiful.
And
She was in Rent.
That was back like when she was also like Pluto and Ash days, which was my thing that I loved about it. And then she comes back. It's had like a more recent, like, well, she's always been around, but like more recently in bigger things with like Daredevil and stuff. So,
Or more
that little
importantly, The Rundown.
of course. Well, that was back.
Most importantly, The
That
Rundown.
falls back into that category.
She's the voice of Wonder Woman. Like,
I always forget about that too.
and she is a wonder of a woman.
That is
but
true. I won't disagree with any of these things.
But the whole plot point of where, like, you know, the center of the universe or whatever it is just that little necklace hanging on the cat.
Yeah.
Like, and they're trying to like get that so they can destroy. Like, it's real far fetched, but also like pretty interesting. A little bit better than giant ass cockroaches. Ugh.
Yeah, I don't like the cockroaches.
Like it felt like something a little more sci-fi-y than like alien monster movie.
Yeah, no, I agree, and I think it's because like the first one's definitely a little bit more based off the comic, I think, which came out before, which was like based off of, and it has a little bit more of that gritty, slightly gritty feel, but still funny. And I think the second one they made a lot more family friendly in a sense for that, so, like to kind of like, which I think also worked out for like the plot not being as cockroach friendly.
Yeah,
which makes it family friendly automatically because cockroaches are not. Fuck cockroaches.
Fuck cockroaches. And if you're a cockroach listening to this, you're probably in the future.
And that's, I'm sorry, cockroach overlords.
Hard pass.
Yeah.
Hard
what do you think of the third one,
pass.
though? We kind of briefly touched
See,
on that. We've seen it.
The third one was one I did not need.
Yeah, I'll agree
Didn't
with that.
really want. It didn't really do much for me outside of Boris the Animal. Just Boris.
That one is great. You play the Concords. Why am I forgetting his name? Oh, the actor who plays
Jermaine
that guy.
Clement.
Thank you. Yes, Jermaine Clement. I love that guy. He's also in Legion. So like I did.
More importantly, he's in like one scene in the Muppets Most Wanted movie.
Oh, okay.
He's in the gulag.
All right, I don't think I've seen.
That's
that
not
one.
most importantly, but I liked it. Nicole Scherzinger was there at the beginning. That was pretty cool. Emma Thompson. Josh Brolin is a fantastic young Agent K.
Yeah,
I think it's because they've got similar talking styles, but they're also both just like gruff.
Yeah, they both. That's what I was gonna say. They have that like grizzled look to their face. It's their cheeks especially. They have almost identical like cheek air. Like their cheeks are kind of like that. Not like wrinkly. Well, now Tommy Lee Jones is wrinkly, but you know what I mean. Like they got that same kind of gruffness to it. That I'm like, you've been punched in the face. I think but you could take it. It's like
you've had maybe one too many glasses of scotch and cigars in your life. I'm gonna take those away from you. Thank you. But no, I liked it up until like the overly sappy ending, where it's like he sees his dad die.
Yeah.
Like that part didn't like they really could have omitted
and they make
his dad entirely from that story.
And then they put the connection between Kay being like his
like that's why he was there,
his,
like looking over him
always, and it's like, well, that takes kind of away from the first story, you know what I mean? Like from the
kind of waters
movie.
it down that he was like, meh. Like almost makes it feel like he was over, like he was watching and destined to step into that job anyway.
Yeah, as opposed to he was just the best at the time.
Yeah, he was the best candidate. Like
whereas now it's like, oh no, your dad. I saw your dad die and I felt bad, and it's like, well, that's not as cool.
That's not something Kay would do.
Yeah,
Kay doesn't
definitely
feel
not.
emotions.
That's the other thing too. Yeah, it's like, which that
Kay
part
is Nick
kind of made
Fury.
sense.
Like he doesn't give two shits.
Well, they do try to imply in the third one, that's the thing that turns him into this, gruff exterior, right? And it's like, well, okay, that's a little bit. I don't want to say a stretch, but we had to get to that point in this one movie, and that they didn't do it great. So. Yeah.
Is it the third one where that starts off with the giant like snake thing, like when they show you Jay, like giant like underground subway thing? Or is that the second one?
That's the second one, yeah. Because with these first
The-
talking like a
is the-
little
is the
flower and a
third-
grate.
Yeah, that's true.
The third
Is
one
the-
they start off on the moon.
Is it in the sushi restaurant? Which one's that? There's one where they're in like an Asian restaurant.
I think that's a scene in the third one, I think. Or no, a scene in the second one, I think.
Because I'm pretty sure there's a scene like that where he fires his partner. I guess that would be season 2 or the second one.
Yeah, that would have been
Yeah.
the second one, yeah. Before
Like there's a lot of points in these movies that could have just been omitted entirely. Like
yeah, there's a lot of little things, which I think is why it gets a bad rap with like critics, just because they got a lot of these little stuff that I think we, especially when we were younger, probably just overlooked, and nowadays
yeah.
we just kind of brush past and pretend.
yeah. No, I think for a lot of these movies, like, and we've talked about before how they just keep bringing back nostalgia flicks just
Yeah.
because they know people are going to go see it to make the money.
That's definitely where the third
I-
one fell in. And this
Yeah,
one, new
and this
one definitely
upcoming
falls-
one.
Yeah, definitely.
I absolutely didn't need another Men in Black movie. If
Yeah.
they had made like an Amazon Prime series,
That would have been
you
interesting,
know,
actually. Yeah,
the
I
Men in
agree.
Black, where it was like a pre-K, or even like
would've been
afterwards
cool,
or
yeah.
something like
And then they could
like,
have
an,
had,
like
a
the
throwback
origin
series
of the
too.
Men in Black or something. They give you that short little snippet at the beginning of.
The first one, yeah.
Is it the first one or the second one?
Oh no, it would be the second one because
The second
with
one,
all the
'cause that-
flashbacks. Yeah, with Kay's flashbacks. Yeah,
Yeah.
'cause he was supposed to be there that first time.
Yeah, because it's that really poorly animated
Yeah,
or that poorly acted like quality.
yeah, because they're doing it for the it's the
It's almost like a
reenactment of
drive-in
the,
thing.
Yeah, for the Strange Tales
Yeah.
type thing. Yeah,
If they
Yeah.
if they gave you like an Amazon series like that,
that'd be
I'd
cool.
be all on board. That'd be sweet.
and
I
that one
don't
would do
need.
so well nowadays too, because it'd be a throwback series because it'd be taking place in the 50s.
It would technically
It's got
be
those
nostalgia.
Well, that's what I mean. The double nostalgia of being,
Yeah.
a franchise, and they're taking it back in time. So it'd be
Yeah.
like period piece. Like that's
People
that's
live for
partly
that
where-
shit. That's why Mad
Stranger
Men
Things is
creamed his
big.
pants. Like
exactly.
today
It's a cross
sucks.
between Mad Men and Stranger Things.
People want to think that the olden days were the best days.
Yeah.
So fucking they could capitalize massively off that.
Yeah, but they went the opposite way with this new movie, and now it's international.
Yeah.
I gotta be honest. The only reason I'm like excited for it is the cast. I love Chris Hemsworth and Tessa Thompson, so I'm on board because of those two. Like the fact that they're the two. I just need to go see. It's Thor Ragnarok 2 to me. They're just having a weird
Okay.
dream. You know what I mean? Like they're in play.
See, they have that
they're-
one trailer out
they're
there
in the
that's
weird
like
kinky dream
where
or
they keep
whatever.
like they have that one trailer where they keep referencing like Thor and stuff, where he like
Yeah.
throws the hammer and he catches it a la
Yeah.
Hela, and then I saw that and I was like, oh fuck no.
Yeah,
Nope.
I saw that in the first trailer too, and I was just like, okay. I hope that's one of those ones that they only kept for the trailer. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah,
one of those little
then
scenes where it's like,
mix
okay,
out, 'cause-
we don't need it for the actual movie. Yeah,
No,
but-
like that's too much of we're just trying to get Marvel fans to come watch so
Yeah.
that they can laugh. Like, ugh, just write a good movie.
yeah. Well, I'll be
Don't make
seeing
me
it
want to
this weekend.
neuralize myself.
So, which one do we agree the third one's then the worst?
Yeah, I think so. I think I'd probably go 3, 1, 2 if I had to put an order to it. 2 was a little bit more light, right across the board. A little more of a total family friendly movie.
Mm-hmm.
More babes. More
I think
babes.
it's also it came out like as we were like
More developed. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Whereas like we kind of grew up with the first one a little bit more.
Yeah.
And then the second one, like again, this is like similar to the prequels coming out during our lifetime, and during our lifetime where we were actually a little bit more
Yeah.
able to like be, oh yeah, this is a story and there's characters and recognize things.
Yeah. I'd probably say the third is the worst one,
Mhm.
having not seen International. But I'd
Yeah.
probably say the third is the worst one, and then I'd put 1 and 2. But I really think that 3 is in its own category of just being there. Like it's
Yeah,
just
I know what you mean.
it's part of the franchise, but it's there. Whereas
Yeah.
like 1 and 2 are like legitimately like I consider them good movies.
Yeah, no, I'll agree with that. Especially since they add the time travel element into the third one, I can just
We all
write it
know I
off as-
fucking hate time travel. Time
Yeah.
travel is bullshit.
and I think that their use of it was one of the worst in all of like cinematic history.
The fucking stupid jump.
yeah, a jump, and then like there's at one point like at the end he's just using it just And it's like, wait, what? You guys said at the beginning he needed like the acceleration, and now he's just jumping back 3 seconds. What? If you establish rules, stick with them. So that's the big part that lost me in that one too. Because if they just travel
hear
back
that
and
end
forth,
game, you hear that Flash, fuck.
I just pre-ordered Endgame yesterday.
That's your problem, not mine.
I had an Amazon gift card. I was ordering Legion anyway, so.
Fair enough. But that's all I have to say about that.
Yep. Is that all our MIB thoughts then?
That's all my MIB thoughts.
I got
Outside of, I really hope in this one they don't try to cram too many, like, not original characters, like not like the real people. I don't want to see like those weird shrimp aliens. I don't want to see like a European version of Frank. Like, I just start from scratch. Give yourself some new.
Because I think it's definitely going to be half that, half new stuff. Like new stuff that they.
I don't want any of the old stuff. It's been long enough.
Yeah,
like,
no,
you're already
agree.
coattailing it in from another version. Like,
yeah.
And then I'm still seeing things pop up on my Google account about talks of an MIB and Jump Street crossover. You can just shut that shit down.
I think that was shut down a long time ago.
Shut that shit down. Stop trying to make it happen. Forget about, like, just stop trying to push for it.
Yeah. No, I agree.
Hollywood, if you loved your people, don't fucking make that. Of all things. Give me a Tangled 2 before you give me that. Fuck. Okay. Anyways, Craig, you haven't really talked in 20 minutes. What did you watch this week?
I actually watched a lot of stuff,
Not Men in Black. We know that.
but not a lot of stuff. It's a variety, really.
Okay.
Watched more Trailer Park Boys.
Yeah.
Today is the first day I realized Ellen Page is in Trailer Park Boys.
Is she? Oh, yeah.
She is. She plays Trina Leahy in the
I forgot.
second season. It took me a couple
I think
episodes.
she's literally only in that season, to be honest.
Yeah, she's in like 5 or 6 episodes.
Mm-hmm.
It took
That's
me
why I didn't remember
forever to figure it out because I was...
Oh, it's super young, her, too.
Well, exactly. You're watching and you're like, I swear I know you from somewhere.
That's
and then
pre-Juno.
today, exactly. Today I was like, damn it, it's Ellen Page.
Yep. That's understandable.
Yeah. So I watched some Trailer Park Boys. That actually relates to another one of the things on my list. Sam started watching the show called Tales of the City. It has her in it. Not my cup of tea.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. I'm like, I
we'll
think I saw a trailer for that, and it
We'll
was
start
like,
with that. It's not. It's really not my cup of tea. The story is just engaging enough to keep me interested.
well, she watches it.
And it's my biggest issue with it is that it likes to think that it's or it likes to rub it in your face that it's smarter than you are. The whole show, where all of the they keep creating all this drama, which is understandable.
Can you repeat the name of this? I missed it.
It's called Tales of the City.
Okay, yeah, this is the one with actually Ellen Page is in that, isn't she?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what he said.
Okay, cool.
that's-
Yeah, I
that's
spaced
why
out. I was writing something down.
That's
I
why it ties
apologize.
into the
Gotcha.
Trailer Park Boys.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So, my biggest and I guess my only issue with it really, because it's really not that it's not a bad show. It's just not really my cup of tea. Is that they keep manufacturing all this drama, but they're very subtle about it. So they keep panning to different no words.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes I just want
Sounds like
characters.
soap opera.
Sometimes I just want characters to have interactions.
Air your fucking dirty laundry. Like,
That's-
just put it out there if you're gonna have drama.
That's most of my point. Is like sometimes when I'm watching a television show, especially if I'm coming from an area that I have little to no expertise, I would like you to have the ridiculous conversation that no one in real life would have, so that I can understand what the hell's going on. But instead, they did like 15 to 20 minutes in an episode that was like there was dialogue and stuff happening.
Like
All you
weird
get is
glances
that-
and body language.
Not really. It's just like they had the one character going through another guy's stuff, and it's like they keep looking like it's little quick shots at stuff, and it's like, how am I supposed to put together what the hell's going on here? But then they're like, oh, it's such a big deal, and that's what I don't like is that sometimes it just likes to demonstrate how much smarter and how much more it knows than you, rather than being a television show where everyone can come together and enjoy it. It's like, well, you don't understand all of the source material, so
It's based off a fucking book?
I don't know if it's based off a book, but it's
Series?
It's based off stuff that happens.
Okay.
Happened.
I got you, yeah.
Not necessarily 100%, but I mean, I will be honest.
Do you find it's a show that it's trying to include too much?
No, I find that exactly that point is the reason why I think it's not trying to include. It's trying
to exclude people.
It feels slightly exclusionary, which
very
whatever,
elitist.
Whatever.
Because it came up on my recommended list.
Make your damn show however you want to, but it does.
Well, that's because it's a Netflix show. All Netflix shows will get added to your recommended.
But it came up there, and my first thought was, oh hey, it's another actor or / actress who's in another Netflix thing. Therefore, kind of backing up my theory of, hey, here's a check, do 5 shows for us.
Definitely, no.
But
it's definitely known.
Just looking at like its cover art, I was like, it almost felt like they were trying to be a little too bohemian, and be like, we have this covered, and this covered, and this covered, and this covered, and this. So like we're appealing mostly to this crowd, and if you're not option A and you fall in under or column A, and if you follow under column B, you're excluded from what we're trying to do here, which is cover like all the all these different combinations of people or like ethnicities or like everything had to be beautiful and poetic. But then if you're not in that group, if you're a generic, you're over here.
That is kind of how it felt when Sam, because I was a couple episodes behind when I first started to see it, and when Sam explained the show to me, it felt exactly like someone was checking the diversity boxes.
That's because that's what it looked like to me. I was like, it just felt super bohemian.
It doesn't feel like that when you watch the show, though.
Okay.
So I will give the show credit where the show needs the credit. First of all, not a whole lot of shows like this out there. Second of all, engaging enough to keep me entertained.
That was fair. Sounds like something I would have turned off.
They pulled the I started off very apprehensive of the show just because it's really not my thing at all. Yeah. But have been drawn in by some of the story elements because
that was crazy.
It's not as it's not exactly what you think it's going to be. And then, like I said, my only issue with the show is that sometimes it feels like it is too smart in certain ways, where sometimes it feels like a show that, because there are certain characters that you can relate to no matter who you are. So sometimes it feels like it's trying to bring everybody together from the different perspectives, and then other times it's like, well, you don't understand this, so you don't get to know what it is.
Yeah, that's very kind of exclusionary or whatever it is, yeah.
It's not my fault I am the way I am.
Yeah, I still blame my parents. Sorry, Mom and Dad. It's the easiest thing.
I didn't ask to be made this way.
Watched that.
Yep.
A few episodes of that. Watched half an episode of Family Guy. Trying to remember the episode. It's the episode where
Tell me which song they sing.
It's well, there's lots of songs. It's the episode where Brian Stewie and Frank Sinatra Jr. open the Italian restaurant.
Ooh, yes.
Any money because he keeps giving the food away for free, and then no one wants to eat there when they stop.
This food isn't worth paying for.
That's the episode we watched.
Yeah, I vaguely remember that one.
I'm trying to think of how that song goes. All I remember is Junior
at Frank Sinatra's restaurant, and then
Junior. That's what it is. Yeah,
exactly. And then I watched a couple Raptors games.
Let's go back to that Family Guy thing. No.
Yeah.
It's a thing. I've never watched so much damn basketball in my entire life.
Yeah, I'm curious.
You
why
probably
that is.
never will.
I probably won't again, to be brutally honest.
It's
I've
this
never.
time of year, next year, Craig's gonna have a surprising business trip.
I will watch any sport if it comes on, but I will not seek out any sport. And basketball was on that list of sports that I would not seek out, but I would watch it if it was on.
That's fair.
And now I seek it out.
Do
That's
you?
Just for the
See.
finals.
Or do certain circumstances play out that you just happen to end up watching it because of where you're,
No, I seek it out. I want to watch.
Okay.
I like sports.
Checking.
There's watching sports and watching regular season basketball is watching regular season basketball. It's the same as watching any regular season sport, but it's an
Yeah.
entirely different feeling when you're watching playoffs.
No, I get that.
Like I would watch.
I get it.
I might pick up any baseball game, but I watch a lot of playoff baseball.
Yeah, no. When it has more stakes to it, I get it.
That's when I start paying attention. That's why I've been watching the basketball. Is I wouldn't watch a normal finals, but because the Raptors are involved,
Yeah, it is a
it's
little bit more of
a
a special one.
bigger deal. It's like I'm keeping track of the score of the Blues and Bruins games right now, because the Blues are leading 2-0, and if they win tonight, they win their first Stanley Cup in franchise history.
Those are Stanley Cup playoffs too. That is definitely.
Well, that
flown
game's on
under the-
tonight, is it
That's
not?
It's
hilarious.
currently on. The Blues are leading 2-0. Spoiler
hilarious.
alert for
That's
anybody
just
listening
fallen
to this
underneath-
on Sunday.
It's gonna already be wrapped up. This is old news. I have not heard anything. Because you know me, I never know when.
Well,
playoffs
it's
are
getting
happening.
drowned out here
Which
because
makes sense. Yeah.
because of the basketball.
We are in the north.
Exactly. It would normally.
I don't understand that being "we are the North" because I'm fairly confident there's a couple of teams that are slightly more north than Toronto is.
Yeah.
Not for basketball.
Yes, for basketball.
Yes, like
Oh, I guess
would the
Washington
Minnesota
would.
Timberwolves not be higher, like further north
Yes.
I don't.
than Toronto?
That's a longitude latitude thing that
I think
I can't speak to be honest.
I think-
I think you guys are right now that like you're.
We
it's
are
just-
in Canada, which is further north than
Yeah,
the United
exactly.
States as
And
a
I think
whole.
that's the way it's like
But-
anyone's ever really thought about it. Is like, yeah, well, the rest of Canada is north of it, so. But no, you guys are probably right.
Southern Ontario is about as fucking south as it gets
It
for
probably
Canada.
isn't the town that gets the most snow out of all the NBA teams too. That's the funny thing.
No, it's definitely not.
Yeah, no, I just didn't think of it that way. That's funny.
Portland is
Geography.
further north too.
Yes, because it's like right fucking there with
Sorry, which one? I didn't hear you.
Portland.
Portland. Oh, Portland's more north than. Yeah, no, I guess that makes sense. Cause I always forget because we grew up there how much like south the whole Niagara Peninsula and like the rest of Ontario, like down southern Ontario is. But that's geography talk, anyways. What else?
Yeah,
did you
apparently it was the "We the North" slogan was mocked by the Portland Trailblazers
watch? Okay, well, that makes sense.
because they are at 45.52 degrees north, and Toronto is 43.7 degrees north. So like just a touch.
But still, that's more south.
Yeah.
So we got to move the Raptors to none of it.
Well, the hashtag was "#We the North too," which
Fantastic.
even worse is
Brilliant.
they use the right to, but it's still "We the North." Like we as human beings aren't the North. I'm not the North. This isn't Game of Thrones.
Yeah, it's funny too because that was probably like I don't want to say 100%, but that was probably like Nike's doing or something. Like, yeah. But did you watch anything else, Craig?
That was it. Somebody else talk.
Okay, well I'm gonna take over since Andrew has to go, talk to his uncle. So what I watched this week, well, we'll start off with Hot Ones. I watched the new Hot Ones.
Yeah, so I tried to watch one of those episodes. I can't remember which. I tried to watch the Jonas Brothers one, and
Yeah.
everybody at work was like, "We've seen this already." And I was like, "Well, that takes all the fun out of it for me."
Yeah. No, I watched. Who did I watch? Oh, it was Holly Berry was on
Yeah.
this week, or last week, and yeah, that was enjoyable.
I can't find the motivation to watch that. So
That's
is it worth it?
understandable. Yeah, not super much. She had a couple interesting stories, which I liked because like she's been through like so many different franchises, like X-Men, and
Yeah.
she was Cat Woman, and right. So she's been in a few. So she like it was interesting to hear her talk about that, but she had one of the genuine reactions to the wings where they started to catch up on her, but
I love that.
nothing
the whole reason to watch it.
groundbreaking. It was interesting because like even her franchise questions, she was very she knew how to answer questions like a pro is the best way to say it. Like when she was asked about like which franchise has the worst fans, right? Because she's been in Bond, she's been in and the other ones, right? And she just had such a diplomatic answer that I'm like, oh yeah, you've been asked this a bunch of times, and you're not gonna piss off any of your fans. Good job, touche, Holly Berry, you are a pro. Like, I did learn that she, like, her first thing was like a Spike Lee thing, I think, or a music video. Oh no, totally mixing my things up. It was that she was actually a Miss America. Did you know that?
No, I didn't know that.
That's where she like. That was her like step into fame was she was won a pageant for I don't remember which state to be honest, but then she won Miss America, and that's one little thing I learned from that. So that was interesting. But yeah, if you're not interested in Holly Berry, like if you're not following her on Instagram, then probably not worth watching to be honest. But I like just checking them out when I actually know who they are, because he has a lot of rappers on sometimes, and I'm like, I don't know who you are. I don't know hip hop or rap or any, okay. So yeah. But yeah, that was interesting. I've been watching more of Something's Burning. That's another one. That's the Bert Kreischer cooking show on YouTube.
Right.
This one, who was on this one? This one was Ari Shafir and some other guy who I didn't really know. But that was an interesting one just because I just love when he has comedians on that, I actually know. And, him and Ari Ari is a disgusting human being, but, somebody's got to be his friends. So it's just enjoyable to see. But yeah, I just enjoy that one because I've been so into cooking shows lately. It's ridiculous. So I've got 2 more cooking shows on my list, actually. Yeah, I'm not sure if I should start with... Yeah, I'll go into one of them. So the one that I've been watching a bunch of is called The Big Family Cooking Showdown. I don't know if you've seen this on Netflix, kicking around.
No.
So this one is it started off as a British show, and then I think Netflix bought it, or they just bought the 2 seasons of it. But it's pretty much just British families coming and cooking their like home-cooked meals for a couple chefs and kind of competing. And I really enjoy it because you actually get to see like these people cooking in their own kitchens sometimes, and like with like the actual ingredients you get to see, and like these ideas that people who are actually cooking at home get to come up with. So it's a little bit more, to me it seems more realistic in a sense, because it's like, okay, there's stuff that they have to get from a grocery store as opposed to chefs
Something fancy
and
that's already there.
yeah, exactly, where they can source stuff. Like if you live in LA, I get it, you can get stuff from almost anywhere in the world, but we live in Canada, we've got less options for like just certain produce. We had a great amount of produce and stuff, but we still like, I don't know if I've ever seen a dragon fruit in my life, or you know what I mean? Like I don't know what that looks like.
In a grocery store? No.
Yeah, exactly. Well, that's what I mean. Like little like random things like that, like you'll see in certain like shows sometimes where they're doing really fancy stuff. But so I like this one because it's it's all these families who are cooking this stuff like on the weekly, monthly kind of basis, like their family tradition stuff. And so it's really interesting to see that, and because it's all British stuff, it's very like you recognize it all, because that's pretty much what I don't know about you, but at least a lot of my growing up was just, that's a lot of what Canadian cuisines comes from, obviously, is from English kind of cooking, which is just meat and potatoes. That's what meat and potatoes is a big thing, but it's also interesting to see because they have a good amount of diversity, and so you see the different styles of these different families, and it's interesting to see families cook together, because some of them work really well together, and then other ones are just
Should not be in the same room as the knives,
exactly, right? And so it's like sometimes I'm like, because I worked in a McDonald's kitchen, you got to put that little thing at the beginning saying it's McDonald's kitchen. So
Sweet
it's
little
not a full.
asterisk.
Yeah,
I worked in
exactly.
the kitchen, asterisk, McDonald's.
Exactly. But I get, like, I've been in that situation where, you can work with some people because you guys are on the same wavelength, but then some people you're just butting heads with because they don't want to listen to things you're saying, and you're like, just why do you have to disagree? Why do you have to disagree with everything I'm saying? Why can't we why can't we just agree that you need to cook more burgers?
I think you're wrong. I think you're wrong.
Well, that's because you never had to cook burgers, Andrew. You've never had to cook 1,000 in an hour.
No, I haven't.
Yet
That sounds like the dream for like hosting a barbecue, not a working standpoint.
Yeah, your barbecue was such a hit.
Yeah, all 4 of you guys enjoyed it.
True. But no, I was actually talking about a cooking show, but the other cooking show we kind of mentioned before was the Chef Show. That's the other thing I've been watching. That's with Jon Favreau. It's called that because he did the movie called The Chef, which is about him. And in training for that, he worked with a actual chef, the guy who, I guess, I don't want to say inventor, but the creator of the this big food truck craze, a Korean taco food truck craze in LA. And so that was his like food consultant on The Chef. And Jon Favreau just, I guess, had gone a certain amount of time, had missed cooking with this guy, and decided, hey, come teach me to cook. Come teach me a little bit more about cooking. Double check some of the stuff you taught me. And so each episode is just them cooking some random stuff. They bring celebrities in sometimes, some celebrity chefs. Like the second episode, they just had lunch with the Russo brothers and Kevin Feige and Robert Downey Jr. and Tom Holland. So I was like, oh, you guys just finished up like Homecoming or something like that. And
2 of those people sound tolerable. I feel like I couldn't ever sit down to a meal with the Russo brothers. Like, they just look like fucking dicks.
I don't want to comment. I don't know them that well. That's fair. I could see how you see that.
It's just their faces. They got dick face. Not dick head, just dick face.
It wasn't much of them talking, though, to be completely honest. It was a lot of Tom and Robert and mainly Jon Favreau. It's a lot of him talking in a lot of this.
I'm okay with that. I like him.
Which is why I'm loving it, too. Cause
I love him as an actor. Forget being a producer and a director. Just as an actor alone.
Yep. Oh, same here. I like the characters he plays and I really like him in this show because he's very humbled in it. Because he sees himself as as an amateur trying to learn from this chef. And this chef, you could tell he's had formal training, but he's also been doing it so long that he sees cooking as a little bit more of an art. Whereas you can kind of see Favreau, because he's trying to learn how to do it. He's kind of trying just to be scientific about it. Very exact, trying to measure everything. And it's like, oh, how long do we have to put that in for? And it's kind of interesting because you can see this guy's like, oh, cooking's a feeling kind of thing.
Oh, absolutely.
But he doesn't say that. That's the one thing that's funny. He's like, you just got to tell John that. He'll understand. I think if you just say it's a little more feeling, man. But it's really interesting to see.
Cooking is an emotion.
Yeah, exactly. And so I'm really enjoying it. I like seeing the different stuff. They do a really great job of it's really quick. That's the one problem I'd say. You can't cook along with them, because they're very short episodes. Okay. And they're going through the recipes really quickly, but you get an idea of what they do really quickly. So it's like, okay, I can look that up later, and I have an idea in my mind already, how to go about that. I've learned a couple of little tricks, which are cool, little things next time I'm caramelling apples, I gotta leave that shit alone. Don't stir it. You gotta leave it so the caramel forms better. Little things like that. And that's my favorite thing about cooking shows. Learn these little tricks that I can incorporate into my own cooking. So, yeah, that one's really good. I love that it's a celebrity too. That he's a celebrity, and so he's got these connections that he can bring in celebrities, and that keeps learning these things. So I'm really enjoying it so far. So I'm hoping there's a decent amount of a season. So I'm going through it pretty quickly because they're shorter episodes.
One of my favorite cooking shows, I can't remember what it's called, but I know it's about an East Coast Canadian guy who lives in this kind of small town type feel, goes to his local market type thing every day. And he was literally just trying to teach you how to cook meals you're going to cook every day. Yeah. And I feel there's two with cooking shows, because I, just like everyone else, I get psyched when I see a video pop up on Facebook or Instagram or whatever. I'm sitting there actually watching a show, and you're like, oh, that looks so good. You can see your mouth starting to water. It's dripping onto your shirt, and you're like, God damn it.
Damn, not again.
When the fuck did I become half Great Dane? But then you start to realize, oh, that meal itself is going to take me 2 fucking hours. Or like it's gonna be a whole day, and I don't know about you guys. For me, like I love to cook, I like to make meals, but I also like I have to enjoy it. And when it becomes okay, I got to put this in at this temperature for this time, and then this has to go in exactly at this and like that's where I lose it.
No,
that's where I'm kind of like.
It's so time consuming. Like I love cooking, but I don't love how much time it takes, and that's where I struggle because I'm like, no, I do enjoy it, but it's like I don't want to spend literally my whole afternoon just to make dinner. Like that's a lot. Like and I get it, it's a little bit more enjoyable, especially when you have like other people to cook with. I do a lot of solitary cooking, so that plays a role into it, obviously. But it's still like, it's that time balance for me, especially. It's like how much time do I have to put into really getting, because it does break down to like I'm going to be eating this food for 3 minutes, 3 to 10 minutes, however long it take to shovel it down. It's burgers.
Yeah.
It's like,
especially when you're eating by yourself, right?
Yeah. Or
like,
just me and my brother. Like, it's not like I'm going all out for him.
You're not sitting down trying to have like family conversation at dinner when you're by yourself.
Exactly. Well, no, he just goes off to his room. So it's like, okay, Netflix is my dinner companion.
Let's watch better food.
That's exactly what I do. I sit here, eat my like non-homemade burgers while they're at like visiting these 5 different food trucks that are all like super popular in LA, and I'm like, oh fuck, I want a fucking fish taco.
Drop dead, you motherfuckers.
But this is also partly what inspires my retirement plan of owning a food truck one day, so I could just do like I can make all the different ones. Because mine wouldn't be like one. I'd just be like every day it's like, okay, what are we cooking today? What do I want to do today? And that's what it'd be. But besides that, wow, cooking shows, I love them. They're great. But the last thing I have on my list of stuff I watched that I remembered to write down was Dark Phoenix. Did anybody else see X-Men this weekend?
No, sir.
I know Craig probably didn't then.
Nope.
Yeah, you guys didn't miss much.
I'm like 6 movies behind, man. I still haven't been to see Godzilla.
That's fair. I figured I was the main one holding down our summer box.
Ain't nobody got time for movies in June.
Well, and they're doubling down some of these weeks too. Like last week, it wasn't just this. It
was Rocket Man came out too, didn't it?
Yeah, well, exactly. And so like this week we've got Shaft and Men in Black coming out, and there's one other thing coming out this week, and it might be Chucky, or that's next weekend. But it's like I get this idea that the summer everybody's got more time to go, but let's spread it out a little bit, guys. Come on. I didn't go to the movies for all of January and February.
This takes me so back to last year, to season 1, where mainly me was getting pissed off that they start fucking summer blockbusters in April.
Yeah.
But then like they front load the summer, so you get like one decent movie the end of July and maybe one in the middle of August. Yeah, it's like fucking why can't we wait for kids to be out of school? I get that you're all about making money. That is the exclusive reason Hollywood is where it is. It's all about making money.
Movies,
It's not about spreading love or giving messages or equality.
Artistic expression.
It's about making fucking money. It's about making that guapo. Yeah. So I get it, but like cut it the fuck out.
Yeah, come on, Hollywood. Get a little smarter. And it's definitely hurting them. Like since Infinity War's come out, I don't think they've had a single movie break 100 million. Not since Infinity War, Endgame. Since Endgame, sorry.
I think people are just kind of. I think people are kind of fucking tired of it.
Oh, definitely. Like, and the weather's
when they have so many movies in the theater. Like I love movies. You know this. I'm on a movie talking podcast.
Yes.
I don't have the time as a working stiff who has a life outside of cinema.
Yeah.
To sit down and watch every single movie that came out.
Oh yeah, it's ridiculous. It's like how like who has the time to go see 4 movies in a week, in a single weekend? Like you do and you don't. Like I could devote a whole day to the cinema, but I'm not gonna realistically do that, especially with your $45 freaking food. Like like it's yeah. But Dark Phoenix was meh.
I heard it was extremely mediocre and felt kind of like a ripoff of another movie.
Which movie did you hear was original?
I can't remember off the top of my head.
Well, so they changed the ending because originally it was supposed to have the exact same ending as Captain Marvel, which was a space fight.
I think that's what I read.
Yeah, so they changed that, and it was just a fight on a train at the end, which is a lot similar to, like, I guess, a few other superhero movies. It's not like an end fight, but it's kind of similar to, I guess, Deadpool.
Like 15 superhero movies that involve trains.
A lot of them, yeah.
Hasn't X-Men involved a train before?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I was trying to remember which one it was.
The Wolverine definitely has a fight on a train.
Yeah, he's definitely fought on a train, at least 1 to 2 trains.
I know Magneto straight up jacks a train.
I think that was in the second
in Days
one.
of Future Past.
Oh, there was that one too, yeah. Yeah, there's plenty. Trains is a common trope, I guess, amongst X-Men movies.
Spider-Man stops a train in Spider-Man 2.
I think we're going a little far in this one.
Yeah, I'm just trying to remember all the superhero train stuff.
Yeah.
Maybe it's because trains are sweet.
Well, I think it's because it's a big spectacle-y kind of thing. Like
They're moving so fast, so much could
heavy,
go wrong.
Yeah, and there's so many people.
The amount of destruction that could happen if it even slightly tips like 2 degrees that way.
And it's like the most people you can fit into something, I think, that's moving. I don't know.
That fast.
I don't know what a train compared to a plane is, but I think trains hold more people than a plane.
Yes, they do.
Okay. Yeah, so that's...
Most trains hold more people.
Yeah.
Other than like Thomas, but...
Or OC Transpo that, just runs an empty train for the last 3
What
months.
trains?
Oh, we have one. Sometimes on the rails. Apparently.
Sometimes.
It was supposed to be this time last year that they'd opened. So, whatever. Anyways, yeah, so Dark Phoenix. Yeah,
well, I saw that I got like a 23%.
Yeah, something
on,
like 33 or 23. Yeah.
Roger Ebert gives it 1.5 out of 4. Metacritic gives it 43%.
Yeah.
I tend to avoid those things and base my own opinions on things.
And I wouldn't say it's that bad. I liked it better than Apocalypse, like the last X-Men.
Really?
movie.
Okay. See, I'm not a massive fan of X-Men.
Yeah,
I've been
neither
fairly
am I.
vocal about this.
I
hate the fact that they always happen to have the right group of mutant powers together to solve the problem. Like, have at least one person who's there like, fuck, I'm just here for emotional support.
I'm just useless. Well, this one has that a little bit. They freaking... Quicksilver has like one scene and then he's out for the rest of the movie. And then
Beauty. Okay, I feel like they were banking too much on him in the prior stuff.
Yeah.
Trying to bank off people having like a weird crush on him. But I didn't really like all of the reboots. I actually did enjoy Apocalypse. It was a lot better than people gave it credit for. Days of Future Past, I preferred the original cast parts. As opposed to the actual past stuff.
Opposite with critics. It just, I love it. It's really interesting.
I liked the original 3, specifically the first 2. The third one was kind of but I still liked it.
The first 2 are great.
They didn't need Vinnie Jones as the Juggernaut.
But did our childhood?
That was a funny ass bit. I'm the Juggernaut, bitch. And where he runs into a wall and gets knocked the fuck out. Okay, wouldn't have happened.
Helen Page, we're bringing it back again. All around.
Full circle. But I liked those ones. And then in Days of Future Past, I didn't like the past parts, but I liked the future parts with the original cast. Because maybe it's because I grew up with them as my X-Men.
It's definitely that little bit, I think.
I don't like the actors who play a lot of the past stuff. Like Michael Fassbender, I'm going to give him a pass. He's going to be Michael Passbender because he was pretty good. The guy who plays Xavier does nothing for me. Kind of makes me uncomfortable. Yeah, he kind of makes me uncomfortable in the face.
I get that.
I'm not a big Jennifer Lawrence fan. I feel like they were when they cast her. I felt like they were just trying to capitalize off her success as the strong female lead in your Mockingjay movies, and I'm all for that. Don't get me wrong, I'm all for that. But I felt like they tried to take a character who wasn't the known leader in an already established universe and try to wedge her in there.
Super weird too, because it's it doesn't make any sense compared. I know they have no continuity, but they at least stuck with the continuity of oh, the X-Men are good, and then they're, Magneto and the bad guys who are sometimes a gray area.
There's like your half-ass brotherhood,
Yeah.
but also like
Brother,
Magneto's going to be good in every single one of these movies at one point.
Yeah.
And then Mystique is going to be good. But how the fuck did she become straight up evil in the future?
Yeah.
Like, even in Days of Future Past, we're like, oh yeah, she kills this guy to do, okay, whatever. How the fuck did she go straight up evil? Like, she was doing stuff for, like, it didn't make sense.
No, they took the character to a completely different direction, and it's just like, it's fine because they it's a semi reboot, and that's part of it's what you have to accept with the X-Men, really. But
like, I don't know. And then Kelsey Grammer was a boss beast. I liked him in that role because he didn't really do much. Yeah. Like physically, he was just there. He was just beast to be beast, and I thought he did a really good job in being
he reminded me of the
beast from the cartoons. Yeah. Like, where he's like, yeah, I can fucking lift that tree that weighs 750,000 pounds.
But I'd rather read
whatever.
This book.
I'm Jack, but I'd rather read you some fucking Romeo and Juliet. And you're like, what? Brains and brawn. Really the first time you've seen that kind of combination. Whereas this younger one is like, oh yeah, I do all the tech stuff. Mm-hmm. Okay.
In this new one?
First of all, where's your kind of uptown accent?
Guess what? In this one, he can... he just flicks it on and off like a switch. There's no more serum or...
He just decides?
Yeah, he just takes his glasses off and
his mutation mutated?
His mutation is... He has control over his mutation now. They don't
Why the
explain
fuck
it.
can't Xavier just mentally decide, like, oh, I want to walk? So shuts down his telepathy
yeah,
and
that's
then turn it back on.
Can you just flick it on and off? Like, I just got to walk to chairs now? Like, I'm just going to have really comfortable chairs in every room and stuff.
Like, that's... Like, I get that there's... when it comes to, like, you have one power or, like, here's your mutation, like, it's kind of impossible to stay on top of, like, everything. But that sounds like lazy writing.
That's super... That's okay. It's a little bit of a combination. It's more, I think it's more on the actor side, a little bit / on the studio side of just trying to make everything easier, right? Because that's just trying to avoid having to do the extra days of makeup. And it's the same with Mystique. Like, back in the first two, they spent a whole day doing the get up for Mystique to do her couple times, which is actually like that, right?
But she wasn't the main focal point.
Yeah.
So you could get away with it.
And as soon as Jennifer Lawrence is in it, you can see each time she's done the role, they spent less and less time on that. Whereas in this one,
you see the pictures and she's like, kind of like, whatever. I want to meet halfway. I want to be blue, but I don't want to be my normal blue. I want to be like my kind of white chick.
She looked like a cosplayer. I'm gonna give people that. She looked like I saw more intricate Mystique costumes when I was at Comic-Con this year.
Oh my God.
Than she had. But again, like I'm gonna forgive those just out of, again, the actors don't want to spend their whole freaking day just getting makeup
Yet
done.
they went nuts on Kurt Wagner.
Yeah.
Like, they can make that dude look like
Well, that's what I mean. Those the original three. Like, the original three, they went all out. But it's funny, since then, they've decided, nah. But it's also, we've gotten bigger, arguably bigger actors in those roles since then, right? Like, you got to think Nicholas Hoult, I believe, is the guy who plays Beast.
Yes, something like that.
He's bigger now, not just because of the X-Men. He's in other stuff that we don't really watch. But
Tolkien.
Exactly. Which you think
that's the only thing I can think of off the top of my head.
Yeah, well, that counts. So, yeah. But yeah, Dark Phoenix. It was meh.
Would you recommend I go see? Kendall loves the X-Men movies. Whereas, as we know, they do very little for me.
That's why... Well, see, you said you didn't mind Apocalypse. So that makes me think you might enjoy this one a little bit more, but you'll also be annoyed because, you know, at the end of Apocalypse, you see she had the Phoenix already in her, right?
Yeah.
They pretend that scene never happened, okay?
Wait, so they introduce it at the beginning, where she's, like, burning the fucking house down?
No. So what it is... What I meant is, so, like, you know how it ends... at the end of Apocalypse, you see she already has it. Yeah. So we start this one off.
Well, that's what I mean. Like,
happened.
In Apocalypse, like, she's burning the house down because she already has it.
Okay. Yeah.
But now it's like it's not there at all.
Now she gets it on the mission when they go to space.
I read somewhere that it was like Xavier sensed that she had like the crazy telepathy, so he like shut it down when she was young.
Yeah, so that's where it also gets confusing.
Kind of like follow like where they did it before in the previous movies and comics and cartoons and stuff. but she doesn't have it in her.
So
She has to wait for the Phoenix Force to like
And I think that's where
absorb, even though we've already seen it.
So that's where I think it's like confused in a sense. Exactly, right? So like we've seen that she was supposed to already have the Phoenix Force in her, and the Phoenix Force is different from her mutation, right? Like I think that's where some people get confused too.
It's like an additive.
Exactly, right? And so like they blur the line with this one a lot with the fact that like she does have the, Xavier blocked something in her memory, but it wasn't to do with her powers. And so that's where it's like,
it's her, like, she had an attack and it, like, killed her parents, but, like, her dad's not dead or something like that?
Exactly.
Is that what it was? Okay.
Yeah, so he
Spoilers.
blocked out,
Let's be real. If you haven't seen the movie yet, chances are you're probably not going to go see it. And if you are, you're not that invested.
Yeah, and you probably didn't listen this far into this episode.
Yeah.
But yeah, so they blocked that as opposed to tampering down her ability or like her mutation or her like or the Phoenix Force in that sense. So that part's a little like, but for me it was I forgot that scene at the end of Apocalypse happened, so I just started off the movie and was like, oh yeah, okay, she gets the Phoenix Force. So like I was like, whatever.
Yeah, see, that's something that's gonna bug me.
Yeah, no, that's why that's partly why I mentioned it before, because I'm like, this I feel is the thing you would come back after and be like, this part annoyed me, and I'm like, yeah, no, I know. So, but I don't think you'll hate it. But
I feel like that could have been avoided though. Like they could have just
definitely.
like had the Phoenix Force hit her as a kid. Like make that the reason why the accident like happens that like kills her parents.
Just,
like
honestly, it's just used.
It just seems like a waste of money to go up into space.
Well,
like I know they didn't actually go to space, but like to do that whole scene, like it just seems like a waste of money.
Well, that's partly what I mean. It's like they came up with that like being the way she gets it just to make that scene more of a thing. Because otherwise, it's just you got to rescue a spaceship with your spaceship. But then you have the added complication of, there's this weird solar thing coming at us. It looks like a flare. And that ends up being the Phoenix Force that she absorbs.
Okay, if they did that and then had like the 4 people on the ship were like the Fantastic Four, like I'd be like, cool, sweet way to introduce the Fantastic Four into the existence.
Yeah.
But
nope. Just
like I feel like that would have been. I feel like that would have been like a solid way, like the radiation of the Phoenix Force or something.
Yeah, no.
Gives them their powers. Like
100%.
Like
could have worked. Yep. No, I agree. They could have gone that way. You could have made it a little bit more ambiguous who the crew they were rescuing was, but instead we got a big old shot that it was the members of an actual like flight that happened in the 90s that I think actually might have had like an actual disaster or almost disaster.
Like. Was it Apollo or something like that?
No, something I think with a T I want to say, but I'm not sure.
No, not Apollo. Something. Craig, you know stuff.
Flight. I don't know what you're talking about.
There was a shuttle launch.
The shuttle
was there a shuttle launch during the 90s that had like trouble? That you were
something
aware of?
8, wasn't it? Well, you fact check that.
Yeah. I'm trying to think, because the only 2 shuttles that I can think of,
Challenger
and Columbia, and unfortunately they both ended very badly.
Yeah.
Which is why I think they might. So it's possible that they maybe just made up one for this one then.
There's rewriting history.
Or they rewrote history. It's one or the other, to be honest.
Columbia happened in the 2000s, so
okay. So it might have been the Challenger.
Challenger was 80s.
Okay, so then they made up one for the 90s then.
Challenger was 1985. And 1985, and
my point was they made it very clear that this was NASA astronauts being rescued as opposed to possible Fantastic Four members.
I feel like with this X-Men movie, since it was like Disney that was out there pushing it, like I feel like they just didn't care. Like I feel like they were just like, we're gonna make our money back that we bought Fox for anyways. So I could not they just don't give two shits.
Endgame already did close to that. Like,
they know that they know they're gonna rewrite it anyways. Yeah. So
no, exactly.
Who cares?
They just kind of they didn't have anything to do with it really. Like it was already it was still under Fox's like supervision. I think they maybe got notes from Disney, and that's how they knew before Captain Marvel came out that they had exactly the same scene. I think there was a call there being like, well, ours comes out 4 months before yours, so you can either call the copy or you can change it. And I think that's how we end up with the train scene. But yeah, I would say if Kendall would like to see it, you're not going to hate your time there, I don't think.
No,
But
we're
you're
gonna
not
go
gonna
see
love
it, but
you're not
yeah,
going to
it's
love
just
it either. You're going to have problems with certain things. But it does still have some enjoyable stuff. I really like. I thought this was one of the best uses of their abilities. Like, they all use their abilities and don't forget that they have abilities. You know what I mean? Like, Cyclops blasts a shit ton of shit. He's just shooting a bunch of shit at some point, and you're like, yes, thank you. Finally, you're actually like,
you're finally doing what you're supposed to do.
he did a really like in the first, like when they're going on the rescue, he does a really, really cool thing while they're in the X jet. I'm not going to spoil it, but it's freaking cool. And you're like, yes. So they did some great job.
I just don't like that actor. Like, he's so fucking
That's
ugly.
fine. Yeah, no,
He's
I get that.
So goddamn ugly.
Guy, I think. He's
so
Ready Player
fucking
One
ugly.
kid, so I get that. But I thought he was okay. And just him and I didn't quite get there. Like, I didn't feel chemistry between him and Jean. But again, that's.
I felt like Sophie Turner
that just
was
happens sometimes.
like
She was
a little
okay.
bit-
I thought she did pretty good, but I'm also biased to her because I just think she's pretty.
Doesn't help that they just kind of introduced that shit like one movie ago, and you're supposed to like feel attached to them.
Yeah, and it's been. Well, see, the weird part is too. It's also been like 10 years in the movie universe, right? So it's like they've doing
had
this
time
for 10
to grow.
years.
Yeah,
Exactly, right? So it's like, yeah, they've experienced it, and I thought they did an okay job getting you like a little up to date. It's just it's hard for me to feel that chemistry. And
does Storm do much?
She does a pretty good job. Again, hers is a little bit still like, well, she does more than lightning and wind, guys. There are more weathers than those two.
Yeah, like she can literally
Don't forget
have it rain hellfire on bitches. Like that would be fucking sweet.
Like, give me a twister. That's one thing.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
that's pretty basic. Come on,
Make
guys.
make it rain sideways. Just
Like,
fuck people up. Like
so that's one thing. But she did do a lot of lightninging, so that was pretty great.
see everything you're saying just makes me appreciate the original like 3 better, because like they got intense with Storm shit.
Yeah, that's true.
Like Storm was just straight up like, yo, my eyes are gonna be white and I'm gonna be way the fuck up there, but it's gonna
make
get
a lame
dark.
joke about what happens to a toad in a lightning storm.
Yeah.
Same as everything else.
Yeah.
Touchy is a great line. Like, it's a little bit terrible, but I love it, actually.
Yeah, well, you see his face like,
It's like, well, yeah, that's true, because you think it's going to be a joke, but then the punchline is, it's not a joke.
It's not a joke. You're about to get fried, bub.
But, yeah, Dark Phoenix. That was the last thing I watched. Andrew, it's your turn.
Well, I got a real short list. We're about to wrap this up.
Yeah.
I watched 2 episodes of Mike Tyson Mysteries.
Nice.
One of them was the time travel episode, where Marcus finds a picture, and he's like, oh, gotta go back in time. So he does. And then they time travel with him. Kind of a weird episode, but they're all great. But the other one I watched, Craig, do you want to guess which one it is?
Well, is God Jerry Jones?
No,
my
it's
favorite episode.
The Real Bitches of Newport Beach.
They're all so good.
Though, yeah, those are. That show is just fantastic. What the fuck? It's my cheat day, Marcus.
I've only ever watched that show when I was at your place, so.
Oh, it's so good though.
No, I'm not disagreeing.
So good.
I just tend to save it for when we hang out.
That's fair. That's fair.
Because
It
then
helps
I
that
get
they're
something new.
Yeah, it helps that they're real short episodes.
Yeah.
So like, you can throw one on. You can do something kind of like Life in Pieces, where it's nice that you can start an episode, but then leave halfway through. But you're not like in the middle of an episode. Mm-hmm. You're kind of like two stories into that 4-story episode.
Yeah, that's Stargate for me right now, because I've rewatched it so many times. It's like, I can just come and go, and I know exactly where I am.
Yeah. So that's why it's nice that they're short. The only other thing I kind of watched, and it's not even like a full watch, is Popstar. I put it on to go to sleep. I was like, I need something kind of just mundane enough to be in the background to kind of lull me to sleep. So the Connor for Real was there. And he's a style boy for life.
Style Boy for life. I haven't watched that in a while. I think I'm gonna have to.
I still
You're gonna
haven't
have
watched
to.
that one.
It's so bad that it's great.
That's where I struggle a little bit because I like Lonely Island, but like the movies is where I'm like, I don't know if I can put up with you for that long. Like we talked about, they had that short the other week, and I didn't watch it because I thought it was longer than half an hour. But now that you said it was half an hour, I might watch it, but it's still like I still haven't because I'm like, I like when you guys are like 5 minutes. I could deal with you for 5 minutes and then maybe hit next if I need to.
Well, I think it helps with Popstar, like if you're sitting down to watch it, because there's so many, like, SNL characters, yes, or like actors, but also just so many big name people who are just there for the sake of being there. They're just like, yeah, I'm on board. Let's go. And you're like, okay, cool. You also get to see, like, the connections, like, from people who, like, Andy Samberg specifically has worked with before.
Okay.
Where they bring them into, like, Brooklyn Nine-Nine and stuff, if you're a 9-9 fan. Mm-hmm. Like, Caleb, his cannibal buddy from when Jake was in jail, is his manager in Popstar.
Okay. That is fun. I like that. That's what I do like about those guys. Is like I like when they have their own little groups in a sense of like guys I like to work with, or like when it's like kind of like Adam Sandler, where it's like when he makes a movie, he's got his buddies to call up. So
Yeah, you know it's gonna have Kevin James, even if it's just in a cameo at the beginning as being one of the men that he slept with in 50 First Dates.
It's funny because I'm like, wait, which one was that for a second? No, there's that one.
50 First Dates.
I'm like, Chuck and Larry, they get full on married.
Yeah, full on married. No, this is 50 First Dates where they introduce that part. Or it's going to have Rob Schneider.
Yeah, definitely.
In everything.
Everything.
For like a second.
Saying something stupid.
Something stupid.
Potentially half-dressed for whatever reason.
Usually half-dressed.
It's strange. And it's just like... Anyways,
but that was my list.
Oh, that was very short.
I have not had time to watch stuff, guys. It has been... June has been a shit show. It is. Haven't had time.
It makes sense. It's that nice weather out, and everyone's getting caught up because we had no spring. And it's like now I got
weather. I got
I
got work's been nuts. I've been coming home tired. Just yard stuff, family stuff. Ain't nobody got time for TV. But I'm going to try to make it. This weekend's supposed to be shit weather, which means all indoor stuff, which means I can just have something playing.
Right on. Sounds like...
Party on, Wayne.
Party on, Gareth. Should we just end it there, then?
Forgot to grow up. Forgot to grow up.
Bye,
Podcast. Guys. Excellent. Woo. Bye, guys.
Thanks for listening. Bye.